Welcome to this week's legislative report. The legislature advanced non-controversial bills and began debating substantive bills this week. Floor debate takes place in the mornings and committee hearings are held in the afternoons. Inheritance taxes were the subject of a Revenue Committee hearing this week. LB 468 would reduce inheritance tax rates for extended relatives and unrelated individuals and provide replacement revenue to counties through a variety of reallocations and fee increases. Unlike last year's bill to completely repeal inheritance taxes, LB 468 would reduce inheritance tax collections by $33 million statewide. The bill was introduced by Senator Rob Clements as part of his commitment to find sources of replacement funding to hold counties harmless for inheritance tax reductions. NACO and county officials testified in conditional support of LB 468, contingent upon counties being made whole through adequate, sustainable, locally sourced revenue streams. If the amount generated by the replacement revenue is reduced, the inheritance tax rate should be adjusted accordingly. Business and taxpayer groups and ag producers testified in support of overall elimination of inheritance taxes. Committee members discussed the merits of reducing a tax that affects a small number of Nebraskans in exchange for increased fees that would be paid by all users. NACO noted that several of the proposed fee increases are not meant to replace lost inheritance taxes, but to align the fees with costs of providing the service. Other committee members questioned whether the school aid formula would offset reallocations of funds that were previously distributed to schools. County officials from two counties also testified in conditional opposition to the bill, citing similar concerns about adequate replacement revenue and the need to fund behavioral health services. Affordable housing developers, realtors, chambers of commerce, policy groups, and users of economic development incentives testified against specific revenue replacement provisions affecting their particular interests. As written, the bill would reduce inheritance tax rates for aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews, as well as more distantly related relatives and unrelated persons. Replacement revenue would be generated through increases in the county share of documentary stamp taxes, reallocating car line and insurance premium taxes, and increasing nameplate capacity taxes. Fees for marriage licenses, advertising delinquent tax lists, and out-of-state motor vehicle inspections would be increased to reflect the actual cost of those duties. The committee is expected to discuss the bill in executive session this week. Next week, the Judiciary Committee will hear a bill to transfer the duties of ex officio clerks of the district court to the state next year, with elected clerks of the district court becoming state employees in 2027. After that date, clerks of the district court would be appointed and supervised by the district judge in their judicial district. If a vacancy occurs, the judges and court clerks would develop a consolidation plan. Counties would provide office space, and the state would pay for salaries and benefits as state employees. The Judiciary Committee will hear LB 216 on February 13th. At the same hearing, the committee will also hear a bill to require the state to pay half of the operational costs of county courts. Currently, the state pays for salaries of county court judges and employees, computer hardware and software, communication lines, and recording equipment. Counties pay for all other costs.